Hey guys, it's Julio from Lawn Care Business Success, and in this video, I'm going to talk about my 5 biggest pet peeves in lawn care coming up. So hey guys, as I said in the beginning, I want to talk about my 5 biggest pet peeves in lawn care and what I did to prevent them from happening again. So coming in at the top at number 5 is last minute cancellation. So this kind of drives me nuts. This is when basically, even with a regular weekly mowing client, where they'll call you up on the day and leave a message and let you know something like they don't think the lawn needs a cut today. What I've done to alleviate this, of course, because you may be driving to their house, you may not have gotten their message, is basically just made clear that the lawn is mowed on a weekly basis. If they do have to cancel for any reason, that they have to give me at least 24 hours notice. Otherwise, they get charged for the lawn mowing, regardless whether I do it or not, if I'm showing up to their house and finding out then at the time that they want the service canceled. So that's what I've done as far as implementing a policy for that one, and it's worked great so far. So coming in at number 4 is trampolines. Trampolines drive me nuts. Early on when I was just starting my business, I would of course try to do everything I could, to complete the job in its entirety, including moving trampolines out of the way. But being a solo operator, I quickly learned that a lot of these trampolines can be quite heavy and hard to move, and I ended up hurting my back doing it on one trampoline, and was in some severe pain for a few months. So ever since then, I adopted another policy that we don't move trampolines. If the trampolines aren't in sort of a playground with bark mulch and stuff, and they're just sitting on the lawn, then it's up to the client to move that trampoline beforehand if they want the area under it mowed. And like I said, once I adopted that policy and just made it clear right from the beginning, as soon as I go to quote somebody and I see a trampoline, I just let them know that we don't move it. So we'll mow around it. And then the next week, if they move it out of the way to like a different area, then we can mow that section, and it stays under control that way. And again, by adopting that policy, haven't had an issue since. So number 3 is locked gates. Now, I do have some clients that do like to lock their gates to their backyard, and some of them will give me a key that I have to unlock their gates. But some of them, don't want to hand a key to somebody, and they say that they'll unlock the backyard. But what I found is that people do forget from time to time to unlock the backyard, and of course, this is a bit of a pain because you're going to mow. You can't get access to the backyard, so now you can only mow the front yard, which means inevitably that the backyard is now gonna grow a lot more in the few weeks leading up to the next cut, and that it's gonna cause a bunch of extra work for you regardless. So in the beginning when I was starting my business, I would even discount their mowing because I was only mowing the front yard and not mowing the backyard. And again, like I said, I quickly learned that this is just a whole bunch of extra work for the next week because the grass is so much taller in the backyard. So again, I adopted a policy basically that regardless of whether you unlock the gate or not, you get charged the full mowing price for me doing just the front lawn. Because the next week when I'm there, when you do unlock that gate, it's going to take me extra time to do that backyard mowing anyways. So that previous week charging you at full price basically compensates for that. And I found that to work fine. So regardless of whether I have access to the backyard or not, on any given day, if a customer forgets, they get charged the full price regardless from week to week. So number 2 on the list of my biggest pet peeves in lawn care is late payments. So of course, this can be a huge issue in your lawn care business if you are, trying to, especially when you're first starting out and, you've got a whole bunch of bills to pay and you're relying on that money. For me, myself, I'm billing clients at the end of each month. So, I've got a whole month of billing that I'm doing, and then I'm leaving an invoice at their house. And when I was collecting checks, um, if they forgot or to leave a check or didn't send one in the mail, and it resulted in a late payment, of course, this could be a big deal because I'd have a month of mowing already being billed, and obviously mowing to continue week to week while waiting for them to send a check. So the way I got rid of this or alleviated this issue was by having a strict policy on credit card payments only. So I don't accept checks anymore. Every client that I work for, I require a credit card imprint up front. And I still bill them on a monthly basis at the end of each month, just because that's what I prefer to do. It's less paperwork for me to just have one invoice for each client at the end of each month. But by having their credit cards now, I know that I can look at them in advance. I can see the expiry date. I know when ones need to be renewed or when I need to get a new number from them in advance. And at the end of each month, I just bill their credit cards. And, within a day or two, that money's in my bank account. And I've never had an issue in the over 8 years now of doing credit card payments for all of my clients of having any issues with late payments. So that's what's worked for me in that one. So number one pet peeve for me in lawn care is, well, pet waste. This drives me absolutely nuts. When a customer has a dog and they don't clean up after it. I have a dog at my own house, and I'm out there thoroughly cleaning the lawn before I do my own mowings of my own backyard, because as we all know, when you're trimming, things can go sideways pretty quick. I had, a few instances over the past few years where you just don't see, some dog waste. You hit it with the trimmer and it just goes everywhere. The way that I have tried to address this over the few years is by having a pet, an animal waste surcharge on every lawn. And basically, I just give customers reminders. I also tell them this policy before, when I'm estimating their lawn for the first time, and let them know that, if they don't pick up after their pet and I show up to mow the lawn, that they will be charged an additional $15 per week on top of the full mowing price for me to deal with the pet waste. Now, I'm not cleaning the pet waste, I'm not picking it up, but inevitably you get it on the mower, you get it on your boots. In some cases it can be everywhere, and it takes extra time, sometimes 15 minutes or so just to clean your boots and stuff before you get back in the truck. So by having the animal waste surcharge, I found that, in most cases, a client will, get that 1 month or maybe 2 months of that waste surcharge added to each and every mowing before they sort of figure out that it's not really worth it for them to continue like that, and that they need to, I'm serious about the yard waste, and they will then go and start picking up. My whole goal with animal waste is, I don't want to pick it up myself and do it. I have my own dog at home, like I said. I deal with that at home. So I don't want to be dealing with other people's animal waste. So my surcharge is just basically, just trying to make it an incentive for them to pick up that yard waste, make sure the yard is clean. I found that if the surcharge is too low, that they just don't care. If it's added to the bill each and every time that you go and mow. But by having that $15 mark added on to each and every mow, it's just high enough to make it painful for them, where they start to second guess leaving the yard waste, and they start to make sure that that yard is clean each and every week. And I found that it's worked out really, really well. So that's it for this one, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below and let me know your 5 pet peeves in the lawn care business that you have seen yourself from your own personal experiences mowing lawns. So that's it for this one, guys. Here's to wishing you guys all overwhelming success and freedom in your lawn care business. Bye for now.